Oh goodness, it's the season of graduations, graduation parties. These transitions are celebratory, but they also bring significant change for families and a huge range of emotions.
Definitely. So having a member of the family move away or go off to college impacts the whole family, including the younger siblings. So here to talk through all those changes is our resident psychologist, Dr. Karin with Nystrom Associates. Great to see you as always.
Nice to see you.
And I want to start off by saying this. I had a moment with my 10-year-old, and he's the youngest, and he had a big time breakdown about his sister in 2 years, mind you, going off to college, and I never really thought that it would affect him so much. So how,
and how much he's thinking about it.
And how much he's thinking about it. So like, we're not there yet, but for all the people in the families that are there, how do we go about this time of transition?
Yeah, well, what I'm so proud about your son is that he started talking about it, is he shared that with you. So it gave you that opportunity to start talking about it and processing it. So especially if you're in that close time of like, okay, somebody's going to be going off to college, making sure that you're opening that door to start talking about it. So talking about it and modeling the both and. You hear me say that sometimes, but really the both and of the emotions, right? So it might be like, oh, we're so proud of Avery and so happy for her and she's being so brave going off to college, and we're really going to miss her. It's going to be different to not have her. It's going to be quiet around the house. And so modeling that they can feel both emotions is really a helpful piece, and just starting to talk about that it's going to be different.
Well, and when you think about pretty much every change in life, there's a both and. I mean, everything that's even great things, like, you know, even if someone's getting married, like that's really great, but it also means more compromise when it comes to like holidays with another family. And you can, it's okay to feel grief about losing the things that you loved about sort of the prior iteration of your life.
Exactly, and even if it's supposed to be like all good, just even the dynamic shifting is a change. And so normalizing that, so I think it's really important to normalize that. And then you can also kind of normalize the stage of life that they're both at, that where this person's at, they're going, they have to have that independence. They have to build that autonomy, and so part of that is us letting them go, and that's a helpful thing. And so then if the younger siblings can kind of visualize that and then anticipate themselves at that stage, that can be helpful as well.
You also say part of the process may start even earlier in just the college planning process, and you're saying it's important that maybe the whole family should be involved, not just the graduating senior, about the college process, college visits and stuff. Why do you think that's so important?
Yeah, I think especially if they're close in age, what it does is it helps that younger sibling kind of model it and see it and start thinking about those things. And then you can include that sibling too to ask certain questions. So it might be thinking about the college town and what's a town, or thinking about majors and classes and how are you going to navigate relationship with your new roommate and how are you feeling about that. So all of those are ways that that younger sibling is feeling involved in it and part of that next step that the older sibling is taking, and then they're vicariously learning through that experience and can apply it.
Okay, intentional family time, that's another big one.
Yeah. Yep, so I think it can be really helpful to highlight to the family, like, let's spend this time together because things are going to change. Let's have a family vacation. Let's go to Valley Fair. Let's go to the State Fair. Let's go biking. And so having time as a whole family unit and celebrating that, while also having time with just maybe the sibling who's going off, having that special time, and then also having special time with those younger siblings, because they're never gonna be forgotten. We just want to make sure they don't feel forgotten in all the graduation and the parties and the plannings. And so if you can spend a little extra time with that younger sibling, that'll help build that kind of, okay, when they go, I'll still have these sort of times with mom or dad.
Especially that middle one. You got to watch out for that middle one.
I know.
Well, that is one of the things that I try to just generically talk with them about, because we are, you know, a couple of years away from that actually happening. But I was like, all right, listen, buddy, like, let's come up with a summer plan to where, you know, you're spending more time with her, you're spending more time, you guys go on your little personal ice cream dates and stuff like that. So that kind of made him feel better. But what happens then, you know, as the kid goes off to college, or maybe they just go on to work life, you know, maybe having conversation with them about how to kind of reach back. You think that's important too?
I think it can be really helpful to model and explain to that older sibling of what might be helpful, because they're just figuring this out too, and they're kind of in their own worlds. And so if you can explain to them, when you call and check in, I'm going to have you talk with Sam, I'm going to have you talk with Sarah for like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
It's really 5 minutes. Ask them about their day, ask them about school, ask them about sports, ask them about their friends. And that time of like 5 to 10 minutes is going to be really meaningful. And then that older sibling's like, oh, that feels really manageable.
Yeah, because there's nobody more self-involved than a college freshman.
Right.
I mean, I'm just
No,
saying.
seriously,
And you are
that's
truly, like, I don't remember thinking about a single other person besides myself at that time in life.
I remember when I called my mom after 3 weeks, she's like, oh, nice of you to check in. I am still here. It's like, sorry, Mom. Exactly. So it's really helping them to see what that looks like. And so they actually have boundaries. You can really foster that independence, but also help them be connected. And for older kids, like shoot them a text, snap them once a day, give them a little bit so they see your world and you're still feeling connected. Yeah, that goes a really long way.
That's exactly what I was going to bring up. Like we live in a digital age. And I think even those little digital hugs every once in a while, that little digital tap on the shoulder, like, oh, she's thinking about me as she's going off to class, snapping a little something to my
Or those
kid.
Inside jokes or those things that are just between them are so meaningful.
And at the end of the day, it's okay to cry. And it's okay to cry on a therapist's couch. And that's the truth of the matter.
100%.
Dr. Ryan, you're so great. We love having you here.
So much.
Nystrom Associates provides care in the fields of family therapy, psychiatry, psychology, and much more. They have 20 locations in the Twin Cities.
So if you're struggling with stress, anxiety, depression, or addiction, reach out to them today.